to the great outdoors. Well, it was a Monday afternoon, and I was pretty much caught up on everything else that I had to do with the trail ride and some other things, and I just couldn't get Big Bend Wildlife Sanctuary off my mind. So I decided I'd ride over there and just see what's going on. I like to check on the animals. There's every week there's more and more animals there, and at least now Terry and John are getting some volunteers to help Terry take care of all the babies she has. I had to stop and see Flower, and John took me out and showed me that Mama Possum had fallen in love with a piece of plastic fence. So I stopped in and I said hello to Hooter. Hooter's doing great. Won't be long till he's out in the flight pen and strengthening his wings, and then the next step after that will be freedom. What a pretty bird. Barred owls are just beautiful birds. And of course, I had to stop and see my boy Lucky. Lucky, he's been my favorite since I went to Big Bend Wildlife, and it's been a while, and the poor guy, he's just waiting on feathers to grow. And Terry said that he has at least 10 or 12 flight feathers, and they are growing back, and it shouldn't be too much longer till he is able to fly again, and we'll have to say goodbye. Hooter just seems to want to keep an eye on everybody. This is Bullet. You remember last week we did a short story on capture that John went out on at a dentist's office, and they recovered a red-tailed hawk that had been shot. Well, Terry has been working with this bird a lot. He's been back and forth to the doctors and so forth, and she found a lump on his stomach, and it was infection and all kinds of stuff that she got out, and he's on recovery too. And of course, Raven. Now, Raven, if you have ever get to know a crow, especially one that is familiar with people, they talk better than parrots, and they're just a lot of fun. Raven has this new thing of when he hears a car door slam, he'll make that sound like somebody locking it, that beep beep. And I had to look at my car keys because mine doesn't do that. Mine, the horn blows. But anyway, John was out, and he finally got a little bit of time to spend with Raven. I think Raven really, really likes John the best. I don't know for sure, but he sure does like John. And as long as I was standing there, he kind of wouldn't go to John. He'd let John know that, you know, you're my buddy and everything, but until I finally walked away a little bit, then he would go to John, and he was trying to get his keys there, and John got him to come to him with some corn. And if you just got to get to Big Bend Wildlife and see these birds that they have that are recovering from all kinds of things, you will be amazed at these animals, these creatures of God's, and how well they're cared for by these individuals, and just some of the funny things that goes on there. They probably got 10 baby rabbits and more baby birds and more baby possums, and the whole room is just stacked with containers of incubators of baby animals. And if you haven't raised baby animals, you can see how it's done right at the Big Bend Wildlife Sanctuary. It's not far. It's on County Road 445, about a quarter of a mile maybe in from 84. And if they're there, they'll gladly show you around. These are fantastic people, you know, and if you want to volunteer, you can talk to Terry or John, and and they'll set up a schedule for you to come in and help them, find out what you want to do, and they'll assist you and train you on how to do it. You know, and then maybe one day you can feed Raven. John gets him to feed out of his hand, and Raven, it is just a neat bird. You know, it was strange because it was just a very normal day, what I would consider normal, kind of boring for them. Their volunteers and Terry were feeding all the babies, and there was 2 volunteers, Gia Davis and another lady, and Terry. And John had caught up with his chores, and I said, well, nothing going on here. I guess I'll head for home. So I said goodbye and walked out the door.
We just got a call from Terry Morse from Big Bend Wildlife, and John's been dispatched out. They believe to be a rescue of a raptor. It's probably another red-tailed hawk. It's in the area of Webb off of 52, and we're going to meet up with John there. So hopefully we'll be able to show you just exactly how a capture is done by Big Bend Wildlife Sanctuary. Let's hope. Go.
We got another phone call today, and it was that somebody heard a screeching coming from the field in Webb, Alabama, just north side of Dothan, off from Highway 52. They called us, and sure enough, we went out there, and we couldn't find it, but we could see the trail that the bird had left. It couldn't fly, won't fly, and it was beating the grass down. But the grass was beat down for about 4 foot wide, and it was out there. And we couldn't find it at first. It was in the woods, and it was pretty heavily wooded in there, about every 6 inches some growth in there. I walked out and then came back in an area that I thought maybe he could possibly be in, with the grass being beat down in there, and I looked in there, and in between 2 little scrub brush, there he sat. He didn't put up much of a fight, which kind of indicated that he was pretty much running out of energy and pretty emaciated. And when I picked him up, you could tell that this bird should weigh a good 4 or 5 pounds, and it probably weighs real close to 1.5 pounds. So when I felt his keel, and he has nothing, he's just got a bone. So right now we're going to get her back to Miss Terry and see if we can get some liquid in them and get them warmed up and see what we can do. Right now, the best guess is that it could possibly be a juvenile bald eagle.
Oh, but, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, that's right. Of course, you know, they're not endangered, but they're still threatened, and we need to make sure we continue their screen. So that's where we are right now. So we're leaving Webb, Alabama to go back to Enterprise to see what we can do for this animal. Got a little bit of.
Yeah, that's not a hawk.
That's an eagle.
Yeah. Definitely, yeah.
Definitely an eagle, that's for sure. So what are we going to do to this eagle there, young lady?
Well, first off, we're going to give him some fluids and get him warm and stabilize him. Get him rehydrated before we try to feed him. And I'll look at him while I've got him out and see if I can see any injuries or anything.
Pretty feet. I'm looking at those yellows.
About 2 months.
A little less.
He's not spreading out his right talon either.
He's weak.
Yeah.
Actually lost a little bit of feathers in the back of his head.
You can see the spot on the picture, that's all I can see.
Yeah. Out in the sun you could actually see the pink.
What could have caused that? That dominant chick thing?
Well, so it could be that his feathers, see, he's still got new pin feathers coming out.
Yeah,
But it could be that somebody plucked it out, but I think
yeah,
it's, it's not a big deal. I mean, there's new ones coming out all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
I know, baby.
I've got sported.
It's really missing the eye now, baby. Can you see your mouth? Can you see your mouth?
You get some fluids in you.
Not as dehydrated as I would have expected. It's got moist mucous membranes. So.
You wait until you try to pick them up there. I think I exaggerated when I said he's probably a pound and a half. Yeah, he is just.
Let's try this baby.
No. Hey, Mel, you see his eyes are already a little glassy. His eyes were just dry. He didn't have enough mucus. I'm not. I'm holding him. I've got my 2 fingers underneath his.
Is he calmer now?
Oh,
than
yeah.
He was when you guys got him?
He was real calm when we
stressed?
got him. He wasn't stressed at all.
Okay. What else did they tell you about him? Anything?
No, they only saw him. They never really observed him. You know, they saw him as he was going either into the woods or. That's all.
Did you have to chase him at all?
Nope. He was sitting still. Yeah. I did the same thing. Put the net behind him so he couldn't go anywhere. But he didn't fall back on his tail because he didn't have the strength to throw up his talons.
Where is that small cage? Not the tiny one, but the next one up. The one in between. Is it out there?
I'll get it. Yeah.
I think we have to put him in that one so he's a little bit more secure.
So how much water did you actually force him to take?
It's about 6 cc's right now, and I'll slowly give him
Is that sugar water or saline or just pure plain water?
saline. It's lactated ringers, actually.
Okay. And people, don't try this at home. You can actually drown the bird if you don't get that water down into past his breathing apparatus. Am I right?
Yes.
Because if you look at the video, folks, you'll see that she had to almost put that syringe all the way down her throat. So please don't try this at home. Leave this to an expert. This is an eagle. This is a very important bird in our society. It was protected. It's not endangered now, but it is still the one step below that. And possession of any part of an eagle or a feather is a crime. So if you can help these birds, just call Terry and John and have them come and get them like they did for this bird.
This is the one we're talking about here.
It's one beautiful animal. You'll be ashamed to lose her.
Watch.
So, what's next for this little bird there, Miss Terry?
He's stabilizing him first.
Okay, how long does it usually take when will you realize that this bird is somewhat stable?
It could take a few days.
Really?
And the rehydration fluids and stuff, we're pretty aggressive with it the first few days, and then we'll maintain it after that. But I'll probably take him to the vet tomorrow just
Okay,
to put
so
him.
will you have to take him home with you? So you'll take him home and you'll nurse him all night long,
Yeah, I'll give him
keep him-
fluids through the night.
fluids, heat,
Yep.
and then tomorrow he'll go to the vet and go from there.
Yeah.
So this is a 24-hour a day job.
Yes, when they're this critical, yes.
Okay. Well, you got 2 or 3 good helpers, so God bless you, and I think he's in the right hands, that's for sure.
If we can get him through tonight, that's a good step.
That's.
Okay, well, we'll check on him tomorrow, and I'll call you and see how he is.
Okay.
And thanks for having us over here.
Thank you.
If I wasn't feeding.